Hi everybody, it's your girl Monique and welcome to my channel. If you are new, welcome, but if you are oldie but goodie, welcome back. Thank you for tuning back in and supporting the girl. I'm coming to you today with a story time of how many times have I drowned going swimming. I am one of them people that do not know how to swim, and I was telling one of my best friends about it, and it was like, yo, you need to tell some other people. So I'm telling you guys. So let's start from the very beginning. The very first time, and in the total of my life, I have almost drowned about 4 times. So it's not like I ain't never tried to swim, but okay, so the very first time I almost drowned was I had to been between the ages of 6 and 8 years old, and I was taken to a lake. And I just remember that the water, the sun was glistening off the water. You know how those movies that show the water from a distance, and they show the water, the sun reflecting off the water, and it looks so majestic and easy. And I had never been swimming before. This was my first time being in a body of water more than a tub. And I was never taught how to swim. I didn't know anything about holding your breath or any of that kind of stuff. I just was looking around at the people all around me, and I just watched them just dive into the water, and I thought as a little kid that it was just that simple, that I can just dive into the water and I'll just go like this and start swimming. But that's not what happened. I dived into the water, not knowing how to hold my breath, and of course immediately started drowning. And usually kids drown in pools because to adults they're just splashing around, but it just so happened that it was an adult that when you're drowning, you're grasping, you're trying to, you don't know up from down, and it's true, you really don't know up from down. And I'm grasping, I'm trying to hold on to stuff, and I kept like brushing across something, and I guess the adult was tired of me hitting them, and they picked me up and walked me to my father, who had took me to the lake. And he was cussing me out, because he was like, I thought you said you know how to swim, and this, that, and the third. And yes, that was my first time almost drowning. So many years later, the second time I almost drowned, it had nothing to do with me, because I had learned my lesson. I did not know how to tread water. I do not know how to float. I do not know how to hold my breath. I'm one of them people that stay their tail in 3 feet where it's safe. If I can't stand up, I ain't in it. I'm nowhere near it. So I was in a neighborhood pool, and I'm with my sister, my younger sister, and some young kid was like, what's your name? Now my mom was strict, and she ain't play no games, don't be talking to no boys and all that kind of stuff. So I told him, none of your business. So he asked me my name again, and I told him none of his business. So he was like, I'm going to ask you one more time, and if you don't tell me what your name is, I'm going to pick you up and I'm going to throw you in the deep end. And I thought he was kidding, you know. So he asked me one more time, what's your name? And I was like, none of your business. So girl, he dragged me into the middle of the pool and dumped me. And of course, like I told you, I cannot swim. I cannot hold my breath. I cannot tread water. I cannot do any of those things. And people have tried to teach me. Trust me, people have tried to teach me. And I had got banned from that neighborhood pool for life, because the lifeguards had to come and save me, and all that kind of stuff. When they gotta perform CPR and all that kind of stuff, they like, you know what, you don't need to be in here ever again. So I got banned from that body of water. So my third time almost drowning happened when I was an adult, and the first time about 6 and 8. The second time, a teenager. And this third time, I'm a full adult. So me and my sister, we in Miami, we having a good time, and we in the pool. So she don't know how to swim, and I don't know how to swim. And to this day, she swear she tried to save my life. And I swear that child tried to kill me. So we are on a floating device. One of those lounge flat pieces that you can lay on and float around the pool in. So we're on opposite ends, and at that time I was way bigger than her, but in water it doesn't matter because you're all even in weight when you're in water. So not only was I at one end, I was on the opposite side of where she was, and we took turns guiding ourselves all along the outer part of the pool, and I think we went around them at least twice. So this second time, she was like they had the entrance for the 3 feet, the entrance for the 5 feet, and then the entrance for the 9 feet. And we were in between a little bit past 5 feet. And mind you, my sister is shorter than me. So she decides that she wants to up and get off of the floating device. And by her doing so, and by us being on opposite ends, it just so happened that this go round, I'm on the inside of the pool and she's near the edge. So she just hops off, gets off, and that makes, by me holding on to the edge, it makes the floating device flip up, and now a girl is drowning. So I could not feel the bottom. I was drowning, and because I didn't know that she was jumping off, I did not have preparation to even try to hold my breath, any of that kind of stuff. So I remember flailing, and I kept feeling the floating device slip from my hands, because I don't know, in my frame of mind, I thought if I grab it I can pull myself up. So that is not what happened. I literally was drowning. So I just felt somebody kind of do a choke hold around my upper shoulder and head and pull me to the edge. And guess who it was? It was a little kid. It was a little kid that was about maybe 11, 12 years old, chicken chest, everything. And blonde hair, blue eye. Thank you. I thanked you then, but I want to thank you again, because if it wasn't for him, I would have drowned. He saved my life. He pulled an adult from the middle. Well, I wasn't in the middle, but I was drowning, and he pulled me to the edge and saved my life. And we got banned from the Best Western pool in Miami for life. We had to sign a paper and everything, child. They always banned me from a body of water. So the very last time that I almost drowned was recently. I'm at, believe it or not, it was in the lazy river. And when I told my friend that I was in the lazy river and I almost drowned, they're like, you know what? I don't want to even hear no more. I don't want to hear no more. I don't believe you. In the lazy river? Yes, in the lazy river. So let me tell you what had happened. So I'm in the lazy river, and I'm in the inner tube. If you ever been to one of the amusement parks, one of the ones that have a water park attached to it, some of them have a lazy river, and you're in an oversized inner tube, and you're floating down the river, and it's lazy and nice and slow. It's a nice, safe ride. So I thought. And at the time, I had my daughter, and since she was small, too small to be on the inner tube by herself, I had her sitting opposite of me, but on my lap. But unbeknownst to us, there's a group of guys waiting for, because certain lazy rivers have little waterfalls or certain areas that splash water on you. So they were waiting for people to come under the waterfall, and instead of letting it, you get hit by the waterfall, but then it stops, and then you get hit by the waterfall, and then it stops, and you keep on going. But what they were doing is stopping the inner tube right under the waterfall and not allowing it to continue. And so what happened is that I did not know that that's what these guys were doing. I just saw them hopping off their inner tubes and not thinking anything of it. So next thing you know, it's our turn. So we're preparing ourselves. We had our heads like this to block our eyes, and we're looking at each other and we're laughing and giggling and stuff. And then next thing you know, instead of it being a little hit hard with the waterfall and then continuing, we're still under the waterfall. And at that moment, two things happened. A sister girl got real up in the air, because I have my small child in front of me and I can hear her screaming because we expecting some relief from the heavy water, and we're not moving, and we can't move, and I can't breathe. And then finally, when I try to like jump off of the inner tube to move us out of the way, that's when I realized what happened with those guys. So I am a lioness, and you are fucking with me and my cub, excuse my language, and now it has got real. You fucked up because I can't swim, she can't swim, and you have put our safety in jeopardy. I was not happy until the mother effers got kicked out. And that meant them, their parents, everybody. I was like, I will sue this fucking amusement park, because you have lifeguards every quarter away watching everybody go down the lazy river. You can't tell me you didn't notice this group of kids jumping off and seeing what they were doing to people. Some people laugh. Yeah, ha 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 ha. It was funny. It wasn't funny to me because I could not swim. So suffice it to say, a girl don't go swimming often. No, I don't. And if I do go in the pool, I would not call it swimming, because I just usually just sit or stand in 3 feet. And if it's more than 3 feet, I can't do it. So that is my tale of the times I almost drowned going swimming. So if you like my story time, then go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Go ahead and send out that positivity. It's okay. I won't tell nobody. Thank you so much for listening to my story about almost drowning a couple of times. And yeah, a girl did a good job. I did. That was a good story. It was a good story. And if you don't know how to swim, you need to do like me. Stay out the water. Or learn. Bye, guys.